1. Welcome, everyone, to Filter and My Podstream. Thank you all for being here and supporting the both of us. Now, we created this Podstream because we wanted to get to know more about our fellow streamers, followers, and viewers in the community. When we're streaming, it's kind of hard to get to know someone from stream chat, so we decided we were going to bring on two, in this case today, three individuals to our pod stream so we could get to know them better. Now, some of you who were here to watch our first pod stream, whether it was live or via VOD, we had announced that we'd be doing a fundraiser once a month for a chosen recipient to help make their life a little better. We also announced we'd be choosing a recipient once a month who cannot afford a Star Wars sub and gifting them a 60-day sub so that they can play the game without restrictions to keep the magic going. So, without further ado, let me introduce our first interviewee today, and that would be OS Purple. Purple, introduce yourself to everyone.
I am purple. I don't even know where to go other than that.
He's named after my favorite
Oh,
color.
yeah,
That's a plus,
that's
right there. Boom.
basically it.
Um, okay, so we'll just go into some questions, some base questions. So, how long have you been playing Tor, and how did you find out about the game?
I found out about it when Star Wars Galaxy shut down. It was the next kind of game, the next Star Wars game, and I've been playing pretty much on and off since launch. So
Oh, wow. So, you've been playing for a long
yeah,
time as well.
a while.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So, what other games do you play besides Star Wars?
Pretty much anything that like people in my Discord are playing. So like League, PUBG, H1, pretty much any
Wow.
other game that other
League.
people play.
All right. You perked my interest on the League part. How long have you been playing League?
For like a couple of weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not long at all.
Oh, okay. How are you liking that?
That's pretty fun. I don't know. It's one of those games you have to have another person to queue with to play it. But other than that, it's pretty fun.
Yeah. That's actually my very first game was
Yeah.
League of Legends. We'll have to play together. I'll support you with Nami. Now, outside of gaming, is there anything else that may interest you, such as hobbies, or is there anything else like with it, drawing, anything?
A couple sports: basketball, baseball, football. Um, Other than that, pretty much it.
Now, you're a streamer. How long have you been streaming?
Again, kind of on and off for a couple of years. It's you know once, twice a month, if that,
Yeah, I did see
for
you.
a couple of years.
And when you stream, do you only stream Star Wars?
Pretty much, yeah.
God bless you, man.
Now, how many hours would you say that you play Star Wars in a week?
Before probably like 10, 20. Now probably like 1, 2. The
Oh,
last couple
okay.
of weeks.
Okay. Now, is that because rank season has ended and it's the beginning?
I don't know. I just kind of got a little bored with it.
Yeah,
But other,
burnout. Yeah. Now, what in Star Wars is your favorite activity, would you say, to do?
it's got to be team ranked fours.
Okay. Now, you've been playing this game since you said launch, right?
Yeah, on and off since launch.
Okay, so I'm sure you know of some changes or recommendations you'd like to see to the game. What would those be?
I think start with the small things. You have bugs in this game that haven't been fixed in, they've been there pretty much since the game's been there. The like the Mando's net still goes through Shroud, things like that. Every time a sniper rolls, if you root them when they roll, they just get teleported back where they were. Like, there's a lot of just small stuff that I feel like could be easily fixed.
Now, have you put in any kind of suggestions to any of the BioWare influencers, I mean, have you done anything to put it on the forums or any sort of changes that you'd like to see?
Not really, but I think most of that stuff is kind of out there with other people posting it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, especially if they've been there from day one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So since it's relatively new into the year, is there anything you want to accomplish, whether it be in this game or anything else?
Uh, Not really. I'm kind of just chilling right now.
You're just chilling.
Yeah.
Now, do you go to school? Do you work? What's your schedule?
Yeah, I go to college.
Oh, okay. So you're busy with that.
A little bit. Not really.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I know I was really busy when I was going to college, but I was also working at the same time. Now, in the game, in Star Wars, now, what has been your proudest accomplishment?
Um, I don't know. Probably just I don't really have like I would say accomplishment things with the game. I kind of just play it for fun with friends. So I'd say if anything, just having fun on it.
That's kind of what it should be about. Playing a game is not just the
Yeah.
game, but just the camaraderie with friends and meeting people online. Now, I'm going to bring up an accomplishment that I know about. You landed in top three, and I think that's a huge accomplishment. Uh, I know there's a lot of people that were fighting to hit top three and would love to be top three. Myself, I'm like bottom three, but can you tell me how was that? I mean, how was the road to getting there?
It really wasn't that bad. There's not that many people queuing, especially like now compared to like season 8. So it's really kind of just queue and play, and you'll probably win.
Oh, well, damn it. I should
Yeah.
have had you more in my games. I did get in a couple of games with you. I don't know if you knew it, but I did
Yeah.
when I was going for my deco. I think it was preseason. I don't think it was during the
Yeah.
season, but I did. I
Yeah.
was like, oh my God, purple's in my game. Yes. Instant win. And we did win that match. I just want to say. I didn't lose it. I did well. I did good. I was like, thank God. But anyways, so you're saying you just got up in queue. Like, how many matches do you queue for? Like, would you just get on the game and just insta queue? Now you got it.
Yeah, I
Did you
just
get it
kind
on
of queue.
solo or did you get it on team rank?
Solo, yeah.
Solo.
I just gotta log in and queue when I'm bored, and that's pretty much it. I don't know.
So because it's ranked and it's competitive, and I played competitive league. What goes through your mind when you are trying to climb that? Was top three like a goal for you, or you just landed there?
Kind of just ended up there. I don't know. Kind of just queued to get the UC to get gear
Oh,
when I was
okay,
bored. So
okay. So top three really wasn't like a sight until you got close to it, and you're like, "Whoa, wait a minute, I could get top three." Was it something along
yeah,
those
I don't
lines?
know. It just doesn't really. I didn't put that much weight into it. It's kind of queued to queue the whole time. So
Oh, okay. Now, did you guys get your rewards yet? Out of curiosity.
yeah, they gave them out a while ago.
Oh, they did. Oh, okay. Well, congratulations on that, by the way. That is a huge accomplishment, in my opinion. Now, you've been around, I'm assuming, the SWORTOR community for a while now, especially since you've been playing for a long time. Have you seen any significant changes in the community since you've been streaming or you've been viewing?
I think it kind of comes and goes with the amount of people playing and watching. It gets higher and then lower. So you've kind of seen it like the season 10's kind of gotten lower and lower and lower, and then kind of higher when Shekshas started streaming. Honestly,
Yeah, thank you very much, man. That means a lot coming from you. Doing my best.
but I don't think it really like changes that much in the long run, as much as just goes back to what it was before, I guess.
When I wanted my deco, this was season 9. So toward the end of season 9, there was a lot of map farmers in the queue, and I got my deco on Satil Shan, because that's where I was doing PvP and whatnot, not really so much Starforge. Uh, there was a lot of map farmers, and I was very fortunate that I actually won. I think I only lost one match with them. I won all of them, and bam, got placed, got my deco. We were good. Never queued again. Now I noticed this past season though, there wasn't very many map farmers in queue, and that made me sad because that made me have to go into solo queue, and that made everybody else in solo queue very sad because I was in queue. So, do you have any idea as to why that happened? Do you think it has anything to do with the OSIS, the new gearing, with regard to getting the crystal, or do you think just some people were tired of it, or I'm just curious because there wasn't, from what I heard or understand, there wasn't a lot of teams in queue. Like it wasn't really a competitive scene with regard to team ranked.
Yeah, I think most of it's just it's too hard for someone who's gonna lose intentionally to get what they're after. Like if they're after mats from the weekly or if they're after the crystal from the group ranked weekly on OSIS, like either way, you're not gonna sit there and lose 50 in a row. They raised like the cap for how many you have to lose if you're gonna mat farm, so you're not gonna really find anyone queuing the mat farm. And that means some of the teams that would have been in queue to queue against the mat farmers aren't going to be queuing either.
Because it's a lot easier just to get it another way, right?
Yeah.
Now, also kind of along similar lines, you who enjoy playing fours, how how is it? Like if you go into queue for fours, I'm going to assume it's not just for the win. I think that's like a bonus, right? You want to have a good match, don't you? It whether win or lose. Would you rather be against a comparable team that you're, you know what I'm saying, versus going into a team and being against someone that you're just gonna wipe, clean them up in like
Yeah.
2 seconds.
Easily rather lose a fun match than win an easy one.
Okay. Yeah, that's to me. I would think like even in Warzone, sometimes under, against premates, it's just not fun because you're not able to do anything. You're dead, insta dead. So
Yeah.
okay, so you would rather have competitive. Now, with regard to that, how do you feel about the matchmaking in ranked?
I think it works if they had people, right? Like, it worked in Season 8 because they had enough people to actually make a bracket with 8 people who have 2K or whatever, but now you have no more than like 5, 6 people in the same bracket, so it just pulls in random 900s to fill it. The problem isn't so much the way it does it as just not enough people queuing, and specifically not enough people that are that good queuing.
Now, for someone who does just regs, I mean, I only queued really for my deco, and everybody knew I queued for my deco. Uh, what would you say to someone who is trying to migrate from unranked to ranked? Because there is a difference. There's a difference of going into an 8v8 where people are doing OBJs, objectives, actually, I should say it that way. Um, and there is a difference. You're really not doing PvP a lot of the times, whether you're up against premates or whether you're sitting at a node, or running, you know, running stuff, running the ball. So, how would you, or what advice would you give to someone who is trying to get into the rank scene?
I would say just play. Like, there's only so much you can get from other people, and then you kind of just have to play if you want to get better at it. You kind of just have to play and lose, basically.
Now, with regard to that, so now you have someone like myself. Let's just say I did want to be a competitive ranked player. Now I'm coming in, and obviously, I'm horrible, right? How how do you think, or what do you think that the ranked community, the ones that are consistently in there, what can you guys do to make my migration to the ranked scene a little bit easier so that I don't run away after 2 matches, let's say? And then, of course, now you got the problem where there isn't enough people queuing again.
Yeah, it's kind of at the mercy of the person. I get like it just if you're gonna queue, you have to just not stop queuing because it's gonna be there's not really gonna be that many even close matches. So
But with the
I don't know.
toxicity, like with some of the ranked players out there, is there I would love to see, honestly, I really would. I'd love to see some of you top tiered ranked players doing coming together and doing like whether it be like especially with Rishi now, right? Doing some classes or I don't even know, that's not even the right word, but do you know what I mean where you're helping some of the PvPers that are really wanting to migrate to make it a little bit easier for the environment for both parties, right? Easier for the person migrating in and also the person, you guys who are queuing. That's your play field, right? Your playground. But I could just see like there's a lot of toxic like messages, and that's how you I guess how any competitive um, arena is. But is there anything that you could see that could be done to make that a little bit easier?
I don't think so. There's not really much that's like once you know what your abilities do and what your DCs do and what everyone else's abilities do, there's not really much you can learn verbally, right? You kind of just have to go play. And I feel like the the people only really get mad when like somebody not only is doing that doesn't know what they're doing, but then like acts like they know. When you try to give them advice, they act like they know what they're doing, right? It's people usually don't get that angry about someone who's just queuing and doesn't really know what they're doing. It's kind of a specific few people that get pissed off and not really anybody else.
So your suggestion would be like before you go into a competitive arena, make sure that you at least know your abilities, have them key bound or whatever.
Just yeah, just know what your class does and know what the other classes do, and then if you lose, you lose. You just keep queuing.
Right, until one day you beat them.
Yeah.
That's fair. Now, in this community, who have you been inspired by, or do you know of anyone that you've inspired?
Ooh, definitely inspired by Shekshas. He
Oh man, I'm gonna blush,
thousand
man.
percent.
Holy shit, I'm sitting next to you, dude. That's pure love right there. Thank you very much.
No, I don't think there's anyone I inspired. I don't think that's a thing. But definitely inspired by Shekshas. Definitely inspired by Junkie, But I don't think there's anyone I inspired, so.
Never know. It's a shame. I think if you have been inspired by Purple, then go and let them know. Um, Now, is there anything you feel you could make this community an even better one than it currently is?
I don't know if I could do anything. I don't think I have some like or somewhat of a community poll or something like that. I don't know. I don't know that there's much I could do.
Would you be up to participating in another, like in somebody's event, though?
Yeah, I think it would depend on what the event is and the time of it. But yeah, I don't play that much anymore. But so it would depend on like the timing and what it is.
Hmm. I have some thoughts. I have some thoughts. Now, are there any projects or events that you'd like to either host or be part of in the future? I guess we kind of hit on that just now in the previous question. But is there anything that you have in mind that you're thinking, it would be good if somebody did this? Maybe not something that you host yourself, but you would like to do. Like somebody said in the chat, ooh, a community kickball. Like, that sounds fun. Like, is there something that you
Yeah,
can think like would
hosting
be fun?
itself would be kind of. I don't know. I wouldn't want to host something myself just because of all the everything you have to go through to do it. But I think if it was like a fours event or like Shekshas was talking about like an eights event, something like that, I'd probably do if I could find people to do it with.
Oh yeah, I loved when when they were doing the Nothing Personal was doing the dueling tournaments. I love watching them as well as not really participating in the sense of streaming it, but um, hmm. Okay, well, I'm going to hand you over to Filter, who is actually not asleep. He's sitting down. And I'll hand you over to Filter so that he can go ahead and ask you some questions, and then we'll take some questions from chat.
I get to ask all the hard-hitting questions.
Absolutely, that's why I pass it over to you. I do the easy ones, the base questions, then you go do the hard, heavy hitting ones.
All right. That's my cup of tea right here. What does OS mean in OS Purple?
It's like the little Twitch emotes, like the frog and stuff. I don't know what it actually means, but
Okay.
it's it's like the OS frog and sloth ones, basically.
And that's why you named your character Sloth, Sloth, Sloth?
Yep.
All right. Now, why do you just do team ranked? Why not just do ranked? What is the difference between the two, if you don't mind me asking, besides the team aspect of it?
It's just a little bit more consistently competitive games in fours. I played solo rank basically just for gear, and then to actually have fun, play fours because it's a more coordinated, consistent, like decent matches game mode than solos is.
Now, I know Nami touched on it a little bit there, but I know it's kind of was a subject for you guys there. I mean, like, how do you feel about having to grind PvE for gear? I mean, if you just specifically just play PvP, ranked, unranked, whatever, like, how did you guys actually feel about grinding PvE for gear? Like, there should have been there like a system where, like, for PvPers specifically just to grind PvP for gear,
Yeah, I don't know. I always thought it was kind of disproportionate with what you had to do to get, like, it's so much easier to get gear if you PvE than if you PvP. It's, even the weeklies themselves, the crystal weeklies, like, it's so much easier to just kill the world bosses than get the actual pops for 50 group rank points. Like, I don't know. It always kind of felt like there shouldn't even be a gear grind in PvP. You should just be able to have gear and have a separate set of gear that you get for free and just go in, because that really shouldn't be part of the game mode at all.
Because I was kind of insulted by the fact that I grind. I'm a PvEer myself. I mean, I did PvP because I was like, oh, I never did a season before. I'll do season 10. Why not? But now it's like you're telling me I'm a PvEer. I have to go into a PvP ranked thing and do 10. If I'm lucky, I'll win 10. And then if I'm not lucky, which RNG hates me anyways, I'll do 50 solo ranked, and then probably screw over half the people that are queuing for ranked. So, or to get their wins and all that. So I just felt it was kind of like it was kind of unnecessary, really.
Yeah.
Like, keep everything separate and make everyone happy. Because I feel bad for you guys that maybe queue up for ranked or team ranked, and then all of a sudden you get these guys that are just maybe spoiling your fun. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think the more annoying part is just how hard it is. At least for me, the more annoying part is how hard it is just to get the gear itself. Like, regardless of having people who are trying to get gear queuing, it's so difficult just to get the 258 itself if you don't want to spend the time doing the dailies and stuff. And I don't even think it should be a factor in the game mode for PvP. Like, they should just have, say, like an expertise gear set that you can get for free. And that way you can just have gear in PvP and don't have to grind it. It feels kind of dumb to have to grind it.
Because for you guys, it must be easy to do like the at least a monumental, in my opinion. I'm actually 257 right now, but I just refuse to go into a solo ranked match now, just because I already got you. I mean, you guys helped me out. I want to say you inspired me, because now I went back. I decided to stream the solo ranked thing, and I was like, you know what? I'll just do it. Why not? My only season doing solo ranked. I'll just go ahead and do it. I mean, I won 23 and I lost 25, but I got my bronze ranking. So you guys made me. Well, you specifically made me a better player by being honest rather than being toxic. So thank you for that.
Hmm.
But I just want to know, what do you main? Do you main like a sniper? Is that your main, or do you main like other classes?
Depends on kind of the season and what I have to play for fours, but it's been sniper for a while. It's not sniper and then PT tank for a while now. So.
And what is it about sniper that gives you like the advantage, say in team rank? Obviously, besides the range, but like, what do you like? What is a sniper better at?
Huge with just group utility. It's just your most consistent range DPS for if you want to go swaps or you want to go pressure. It's your best range DPS because NG's going to do the most damage for you, and Marksman's going to have 30k crits.
So it'd be marksman.
A couple seasons now, it's been the best range DPS to run.
And that's just specifically marksman for ranked PvP. It wouldn't be virulence or engine.
It'd be marksman or NG. It's just not virulence. Because NG's like the pressure spec, and then marksman is when you do swaps. So it's either one of those.
And would you ever like to say like a guide? Because there's a lot of people that are coming out with guides now. Like Rage Quitting is coming out with like, you know, Fury Mara and Carnage Mara and all that. Would you ever do like a sniper guide for ranked or like PvP in general?
I don't think so. Just because like I said, it's not there's not that much that you can kind of get out of another person without just playing it yourself and learning what you're doing wrong yourself. There's not that much you can get out of it after like the rotation. And I'm sure there's already like a PvE guide out there with a rotation. So once you know that and know what your DCDs do, I don't think there's much more that like you can get taught in a guide. You just kind of have to play. So I feel like it wouldn't help that much to make a guide.
Okay. Well, that's the questions I had there. I know Kitchen Sink has its own guide there. You know, from 5.0, I don't know how much has changed since then, if anything has changed, but
yeah, there's been a couple changes as well, even to sniper. So
that's the questions I had.
Is there any questions from the chat for Purple?
Oh gosh, there's Ducky's question.
Ducky's question is pretty awesome. Oh man, I love this community. Holy shit. That's so out of the blue, dude. Taken so hard out of context. But it suits you so well, Pup. It's insane. Ducky's my hero now, man. He definitely broke the ice.
Would you like to answer that though, Purple?
Please do, man. Please do.
One horse-sized duck.
Definitely, right? I
What is a duck
agree.
gonna do to you anyway?
Yeah, man. But fuck, 100 duck-sized horses, that win. Oh, holy shit.
I mean,
I think that's still 100 horsepower, right? Like, that's still...
rolling around with Shekshas, and he just instantly vaporized them all with his...
Yeah, I wish that was the case, man. I would be crying, dude. 100 duck-sized horses, holy shit. It sounds like a nightmare-induced scenario. Oh, man. Holy shit.
Also, Hypnova asks, how good do you think he is?
Oh wow, just so good. You know, Hypernova Jones, just so good.
There you
Pretty much
go.
everything.
He's stroking your ego. Also, Lil Buffs wants to know if he's good at heals.
Yeah, pretty good.
Is it Phelan? Phelan? Asking
That's
if you can
Hypnova.
train him. Who's that?
That's Hypnova.
Oh, that's Hypnova. Oh. Oh, look at that. He'll buff the... Oh, so you're going to buff the duck and shield them. Bring it. Oh, my gosh. Ducky, oh, my gosh.
Yeah, but in the end, I still have Shekshas, so it's all good.
He takes me as a shield. That's totally fine, Pep. I would do it just for you, man. Oh my god, man. I will buff and shield him. Brilliant. Awesome.
Oh, Hypnova said, oh, I have another question. If he could unban one person in chat, who would it be?
Like, there you would have to know which person's got banned. I don't know. I guess that's gonna be a difficult question to answer. Please.
Yeah. Huh.
Is it that long of a list?
I guess, I don't know. I mean, isn't there somewhere a list on Twitch where you got your banned people? I don't know. I'm just too retarded to use Twitch properly, so I don't know.
Tell us about it.
Wait, who's gonna?
Oh, okay,
you're
it was a
talking
trick
ban
question.
in my chat. Are you talking about
Yeah,
my
your
Twitch
chat,
chat?
Nami.
Oh,
Yeah, but
oh, how
yours. Yeah.
funny! I don't even know who is banned. Really, I don't do the banning, but my mods do.
The
I
answer is
mean, we could. I
Broadcast,
mean, we
so.
could. The fact is, we could actually tell you why he was banned. It would just be a matter of like, if it'll stop. You know, that's the real question there.
It was a trick question, though. Hypnova knew what he was doing, to be honest.
Yeah, I guess the question is, would Qualkais stop? That's the thing. Is he ready to play fair?
It's got to be a good lad. Then he
But
can come back.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. There you go, Mickey. You said it very well in your British accent. Yeah, and I mean, I think therein lies the thing. I mean, I believe in second, even third chances, but just be chill. I don't know.
Get drunk. I don't know. Chill out.
Get drunk, chill out. I don't know. I don't even know how to unban someone.
It's
But
just /unban in his name.
what is his name? He has like a bajillion accounts. Isn't that?
No, he's actually in the chat right now. He's all kinds.
Okay. So what do I do? Can you do it? Do you know how to do
Yeah,
it?
Ducky, Valek, Nimi, we can all do it. It's just a matter of like just answering the question directly. Will he not, will he chill out,
Yeah, but he can't
Pretty easy
answer if he
question.
can't talk in chat.
You can whisper.
That's the crane.
Oh, he can
When you
whisper.
are feeling bad.
Oh.
'Cause I have no problem there. I'll just do it myself there. It's just a matter of like, there
Oh.
you go.
Dude, you have to teach me how to do that. Oh, you just put /unban in his name?
Yeah.
All right, there you go. You've been freed. Oh, and it looks like Fenwin asks, what is your favorite movie?
That's actually a sweet question, Pub, and a good one. What's actually your favorite movie, man? I would like to know too now.
Probably The Dark Knight, honestly.
Awesome, that's my boy. There we go. Batman is the best after all, man. I can relate.
Okay, well, if there isn't any more question, oh, The Dark Knight, Fenwin. There we go. Okay, so if there isn't any more questions for Purple, we are going to move over to the UK individual sitting right there that everybody should know on his sin, which is Mickey.
Alright, lads and lasses.
Oh, well.
The hype is real, bro.
Let's go.
You got this.
And Filter will be the one interviewing you, Mickey. And I got to somehow make my view a little bit different. Okay, there we go.
Alright.
Yeah, the embarrassing part was I thought you were Australian when you were really UK. That's the worst part about it. I was like FML.
Don't worry about it. Don't bother.
I will be right back.
All right, there. And Mickey, if you want to introduce yourself, buddy.
I'm Micky. I play Deception Sin a lot, and people say I get global, but I actually don't. So, yeah. That's all I have to say to introduce myself.
Right there. Well, thank you for introducing yourself there. As good an introduction, maybe a little bit better than Purple's there. Now, how long have you been playing SWORD Tour for, and how did you find out about the game?
I've been playing since beta. I found out because the same reason Pape did. SWG shut down, and I started playing because of that, really.
And then in the beta because Purple was playing it, or?
No, like Star Wars Galaxies, the game I was playing before it was shutting down, so I had to find a different game to move on to, and this was the game I chose.
Now, I know from when I watched you stream, I know you took a little break from SWORD Tour. I think you were playing. Were you playing Apex Legends, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, but I play a bit of CS:GO as well.
CS:GO, okay, understandable there. And besides those games, what other games do you actually play when you're taking a break from SWTOR, or maybe just ranked in general?
Well, it depends. Like, I usually get into games for like I don't know, like 2 weeks, and then I'll like switch games. So I like go all over the place really. But I got into Black Desert for a while, and then I got out of that after a few weeks. I got into Star Wars Battlefront, got out of that in another 2 weeks. It's just like I just move through games quite a bit.
So there's never like a game where you just like Star Wars, you could just be hooked on just playing ranked, enjoying yourself. You got the music going, you got the people going there. There's no other game like, oh, I'm gonna play this for like about a month or so.
The only thing I could think of is really CS:GO. That was a game I really played so much. Like I played it a lot back in the day, but I don't play it as much anymore.
Hey, understandable there. Do you have like any interests outside of the gaming world? Any hobbies? Anything you do that maybe we don't know about?
I play a bit of snooker. Sometimes I do a bit of boxing. I don't like do like I don't have a trainer or anything like that. I used to do boxing a while ago, but I don't like these days. I just do it by myself just to keep in shape. So yeah, probably those two.
Like this is like boxing just like for fun there, or just to like one day defend yourself if someone was stupid enough to get in a fight with you, and just, like you were
Bit
like
both,
bullying,
really, bit both.
you're like bullying like high school or something like that. You just got into boxing that way. You're just like
No, mainly I just do it just for fun, just to keep in shape. I enjoy it.
And we're glad you're doing something you enjoy there. Glad we found out just a little bit more about you there. Now, how long have you been streaming, and do you only stream SWTOR, or do you stream other games as well? Do you stream CS:GO?
I used to stream a lot of CS:GO, but mainly I just stream Star Wars at the minute. Mostly, I used to stream it like every weekend, and yeah, I just play ranked every weekend. Some days it goes well, some days it doesn't.
Do you ever get like visibly frustrated on stream, like when you lose, or maybe you should have won the match? You're like, man, I should have won that match.
Quite a bit.
Can people see it? Because I know you got them dim lights. It's like kind of like that look that you have in your room there. Besides, I can't really see much of your facial expressions there. But do you get like kind of angry? Not like toxic anger, but like just angry at it?
Yeah, sometimes I want to smash my monitor, but it's just that's just how solo ranked is. Some days you can have a good day, and you win every match, and then some days you would lose in every match, and you don't really know why, and you just want to smash your keyboard, smash your monitor, throw everything out the window. But you gotta have some discipline.
So relatable, man. That was so man. Oh shit.
So that means you're not gonna go like full like Summit 1G, punch your monitor and probably break it or anything like that. Maybe someone push you over the edge.
I have in the past, but these days I can't afford to buy anything new, so I need to like be careful. I just gotta be careful and just chill myself out.
Let me know when you get to that point of punching your monitor, so I can just watch it and have a good time. Bring the popcorn.
There'll definitely be a clip. Don't worry.
And you also stream other games I know you streamed Apex there, but you said you also stream CS:GO.
Yeah, I used to stream CS:GO. I got like to a pretty high rank CS:GO, and I started getting in like face and stuff like that. But I don't know. I just I stopped playing it because it's more fun to play CS:GO with friends, and when people like stop playing it, it feels pretty pointless to play.
So you only stream games that you only just PvP in, then, right? There's never games
pretty
where
much, yeah.
Like say World of Warcraft, you just obviously leveling's a big part of that, where you can't really do PvP, but you only stream games that are just PvP. Got to have that
Yeah, I need to get hype, man. I can't like stream like leveling or anything like that because it's just like I don't know. I don't think it would be entertaining. I wouldn't be very hyped or anything. So it's just I don't know. Guess that's
Now,
how I feel about it.
Okay, well, like what is like PvP for you? Is that gets you just like I know everyone's gonna say it's different, but like PvP gets you hyped. It gets like is it like the aggression, like the energy that you feel? Like what is it about PvP that you wanted to play it so much that you wouldn't get tired of it?
Well, it's like I mean, there's some matches which are obviously like just throwaway matches and you can't do anything about. But there's obviously quite a lot of matches where you can like actually do something and carry and you can get into 2v2s, 1v1s and stuff like that. And generally winning like those 2v2s and 1v1s usually gets us pretty hyped and like it makes us want to play even more, and that's really the main reason I keep playing and just go back to it really.
And then how many hours would you say you actually do play SWTOR when you are doing either regs, unranked, ranked, like streaming, non-streaming? You don't have to answer this honestly. You can lie about how much hours you actually put into the game.
No, I will be honest. Like I usually play every weekend. I usually stream for about 7-8 hours a day. So I usually do it like 3 days a week. So I'd say about 16 to 20 hours around there.
And that's just during the weekend.
Yeah. Stay
Now,
up till like 7 a.m. or some shit.
7 a.m. UK time, or are we talking about Eastern time, or?
UK time.
Now those streams there, I know I've seen recently there, and I don't know if it's just you and TMG there, but are you guys always streaming together? So I see in his title, and streaming with Micky. I see in your title streaming with TMG. Are you guys always streaming together? So it's always that fun, or is it you always streaming like solo, or?
Recently we've been streaming a lot together. It's actually been quite a lot of fun because we both drink a lot and we're trying to like challenge each other to drink and just see how far we can go.
I want to take part in that once in a while, man. That sounds like
you need to, man. It'll be fun. But yeah, I just have a good time with them, so I don't really get as frustrated as I usually would if I was playing solo ranked. So yeah.
So when you are streaming with TMG, so it's less likely that we'll get a clip of you punching your monitor if you're playing with him.
Exactly.
I don't like this. I think we need to not do this anymore. I want to see you punch the monitor. Now I know there's a lot. So if people don't know, I try to just make sure people are just aware of that. That Snape obviously did a PvP VOD, Shekshas, Night Train, and Kreia talking about the PvP changes. Obviously, there was a lot of good content within just talking. And you guys, I know Shekshas, you guys talked for a while about it, but I will say this, Micky, because you weren't in the video there. What changes would you recommend seeing in the game there? Whether it just be PvP related, or just any changes in general?
Fix every bug with the abilities that have been there for years, aka like Phantom Stride bugs, Hollow Traverse bugs, low slash at max range bugs, but mainly permaban win traders is what I have to say, because I feel like Bioware are just too scared to permaban people. So yeah, make it happen.
Now, would it just be like just their characters or just their accounts?
Accounts.
Okay. So wouldn't it just be like something of like once they've been caught, they're gone like forever from the game or and whatnot, or what? Like they.
Yeah, I mean they would have to make a new account, and I feel like that would really discourage people from wintering. So that's what I'd do.
And also, would you say fix potentially the desync issues? I know there's a kind of rampant when someone's going up the ramp, down the ramp, they'll sometimes disappear, fall through the earth.
Yeah, like those bugs should be fixed, but like I get there's like gonna be bugs. Like there's no avoiding that. But bugs that have been in the game, which are combat bugs for years are pretty much inexcusable. Really, they should have really been fixed years ago, but it just hasn't happened, and that's like there's bugs with low slash not going off because you're at max range. There's bugs with Phantom Stride sending you fly into the air and die. Bugs with Phantom Stride not going off properly, so you don't teleport the target. You actually just stay still. It's just stuff like that should have been fixed so long ago, but hasn't.
Now, is there any specific like class changes that you see? Like, I know people always complain about mercs and whatnot. I mean, if you know what to do against a merc, most likely handle them. But do you see any specific class changes in general besides, obviously your assassin? You main an assassin with low slash. Do you see anybody like getting nerfed? Anybody buffed?
Well, I can only really speak for Sins, and to be honest, there's a lot of Sins that would ask for phase walk and stuff like that, but I think that would make us do OP and stuff. So, to be honest, I think just buff deflection, make deflection have some sort of force damage reduction, or like resist, something like that in deflection, so it's actually more useful. But that's the only real change I'd make to Sins, because I think they're in an okay place right now. I think that would really balance them though if they had some sort of like force thing. And I just got logged out because I didn't touch my keyboard, so I'll be 2 seconds.
Well, we can actually claim you really did vanish, so you can't. You have to change your name.
Yep. Oh god.
All right, and with it being a new year, is there anything that maybe last season that you didn't accomplish that you'd like to compensate this season or this year?
I would like to get a top 3 at some point, because I keep saying I'm going to get it, but then I give up on it, so I need to do it at one point. So I do feel like I can do it, but oh my god, please don't clip that. Nobody clip that. That was a fucking voice crack. That was a voice crack and a half.
And you're gonna get a clip because of that. That's the karma of Twitch.
Oh no.
Now that you said something, it's gonna be done. So
Yeah, definitely. Awesome.
But yeah. I would like to get a top 3. I'd like to get to 1,000 followers. I think that would be nice. But yeah.
You said 2,000 or 1,000?
1,000.
Oh, 1,000. Okay, sounds fine.
Yeah.
All right, and can this be accomplished? Say, because I know Purple said he likes team ranked. Is it just for you as solo ranked, or is it team ranked as well?
I don't really play team rank because I don't know. Like I've never found it fun because I don't want to get in those teams where it's just like people are going to get annoyed at anything. That's what I'm like worried about. Just getting in a team where people just get annoyed at like the smallest mistakes, So I've always just wanted to do it in solo rank because I don't have to deal with that.
It's understandable. Now, since you've been streaming or just watching in general, I'm not sure how long you've been watching other Sword Tour streamers for, but have you seen any changes to the community at all in general?
Sorry, I missed what you said there.
Have you seen any significant changes in the Sword Tour community at all since you've been a streamer or just a viewer?
In the community, I'd say like ranked has got a lot more positive, because back in the day, I feel like it was a lot more toxic. But these days, I don't feel like it's that toxic really. Like when I go into ranked, I don't worry about my teammates just being annoyed at us all the time, like I used to, and I just feel like the community's got a lot more like positive and more laid back in a way.
Now, with you guys, obviously this is one question I'm asking you all because I just remembered it, ironically enough. But this is something that, I've been I just wanted to bring up to you guys because you guys do soul rank, team ranked, all that good stuff. So I'm just gonna ask you directly there, then I'll ask the other two gentlemen after this here. If someone said they were they were just here for the monumental crystal, whatever, is that more forgivable in a way, in a sense, just because
Are you
it's actually
asking
telling?
everybody or just Mickey?
I'm just asking Mickey right now, and then I'll ask you guys afterwards.
Oh, okay.
Just so you guys can form maybe the opinion on that, because I know some people have come out and some people have been more forgiving about it, but just to you, Mickey, like if someone said they're just here for the monumental crystal, they just want to get their rank and get out of there, what do you?
I wouldn't really care. It's more pops at the end of the day. I'd rather have, like I'd rather have people that can, at least try to carry, rather than just not having pops at all. So yeah, that's my opinion on that. I'd just rather have more pops, because I'd rather not just sit there for like half an hour waiting for a pop and just to not get one. You know what I mean?
So it benefits. So I mean, do you care about having like a good match against in soul ranked as well, or it's just you just want more Q pops?
I do like good matches, but at the end of the day, you're always going to get bad matches. It doesn't matter, like, what you do, you're just going to get bad matches at the end of the day, and you can't really help that. And you just got to move through them, and, you'll eventually get the good matches. You'll have a few good matches, and, yeah, I'll be alright. But, yeah.
Because I know there's people that are less forgiving there, especially if they just go there, they potentially don't know what they're doing, they just die there. So I mean, it's good to always have somebody that wants to say about getting their mats or whatever, but also communicating as well.
Well, just as long as they try, really. Like, if they're there for the like crystal, like just don't like throw the match by just not trying just because you're there for the crystal. I get it if you're there for the crystal, but at least try. That's all I can really ask for.
All right, that's understandable there. I mean, if I don't want to queue. The reason I don't queue anymore is just because A, I don't want to do the monumental shard ridiculous soul ranked quest there, and B, I don't want to mess up anybody's ranking, especially if they. I know some people get kind of toxic there. There's some stuff I've heard, but nothing directed at me, so it's understandable.
Yeah. I mean, there's just going to be toxic people in ranked, and that's unavoidable. Like I used to not queue ranked because of those toxic people, and at the end of the day, you just realize all those toxic people are usually shit. So
preach, my man, preach.
Why are you coming at me like that, dude? That's rude.
Well, let's be real. Just look at general chat or even chat on Drum and Costs, and that's toxic enough too. So I don't think it's only in ranked. I think it's all over. It's really the person, how they conduct themselves, really at the end of the day.
It's really, yeah, that's true.
I don't know that it's really more prevalent in one area of a game. It happens in every game. I gotta tell you, League of Legends is extremely toxic. I was one of those individuals, toxic. Nobody heard me though because I was yelling at my laptop.
Ferocious girl, man.
Because in League of Legends, there is a solo or duo queue, and it's like, let's go. And I played ranked from season 3 to 7, so I played ranked for quite a long time. But yeah, over here it's pretty mild, to be honest. So still toxicity shouldn't be there, but man, general chat has it too. So it's all over the place, and it probably always will be, unfortunately.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Can't do anything about it.
Now I wanted to ask you, who'd you like? Like Purple said, who he was inspired by. Who did you inspire? Who were you inspired by? Especially, playing, like, who got you into like playing Assassin, if anybody did that?
Well, I'd say streamers that inspired us.
Okay.
Definitely. Recently, I was pretty close to just quitting the game and not really playing anymore. I was pretty done because of, I don't know, personal stuff. And when I would I would like watch Star Wars streams sometimes, and when I went to Shek's stream, it was always good to watch him because like he made us want to play the game, like because he's like really positive while he's playing, and it makes you want to play. Like when he's getting like all hyped up after winning the match, it makes you really want to play the game.
Oh man, I'm gonna cry right here. Holy shit. You and Papa are amazing. Well, thank you very much, bro. That means so much.
Anytime, mate, anytime. But yeah, definitely. There's quite a few people. There's Tank Mike Golf, obviously. You know, I love him. I play with him a lot. You know, I get in voice with him, and he's always like been there for us, been there to help us if I ever had any issues. Junkie saved my life. You know, he's a legend, and he's not a streamer, but he often came at me chat a lot, and he would also like when I was losing rating and shit, and I was like pretty sick of queuing, and I just didn't think I was gonna get gold and stuff like that. I'd say Mora because he always came at me chatting and was like, you know, you'll do it. It's just you're getting unlucky and stuff like that. So I'd definitely say him as well. For people I'm inspired, I don't know, to be honest. I think maybe Little Buffs. I think he always talks to me about playing and stuff like that, and he always asks us questions. So maybe him. I don't know.
Now, is there any projects that you might have in the future there? Anything that you want to like maybe say, you know, like I know Nami and myself always do the monthly streamer event where you do like, you know, the operations and whatnot. Do you ever see yourself like hosting like a PvP, a ranked PvP, or like, you know, your own event or whatever?
There is one thing I want to do in the future. I don't know when it'll be. Like it's probably going to be quite far in the future because I've got a lot on right now. But in the future, I do want to do a charity stream for suicide awareness. I would really love to do that because it's something that's affected me personally, and I think it would be like really, really good to do something like that on stream. But it's just getting everything sorted out and doing it really.
Well, count me in. I'll be there.
Me too, man.
Help.
Yeah,
me
me
in.
too. You can count on me too, buddy.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
By the way, I just wanted to say if I ever saw you guys in a, because I only play regs there, but if I saw a glowing Season 9 Nyx coming at me, I'd just quit the game. I'd just be out of there. So I'm just saying, Shek would probably make me quit the game.
He actually said that. He did say that. I don't know. He was in his regs match. He's like, oh no, I'm out of here now. Forget it. No, I'm out. And I was like, what? He's like, nah, next game. I can get the next one. I'll queue the next one.
The more I see someone like come in the match that I know is gonna, I was like, that's not gonna be. They come with their pocket healer. It's over for me. I'm done. I'm getting out of here.
Yeah, I can't blame you, man.
It's okay. I can't beat Shekshas either. So.
Oh man, you guys are killing me. I don't even know what to say at this point.
Well, you're going to have to because you're going to be interviewed next.
Yeah, I thought
Make sure you keep those words. We don't want you tongue-tied already. We haven't even started with you.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm ready.
I was gonna ask the same question to you guys now. The same thing I asked Micky there was the solo ranked, because I'm done with the in general questions directly to Micky. Just
Okay.
saying that right now. So I'm gonna ask you guys about the solo ranked, the queuing, with the people who say, you know, hey, we just want the monumental shard. You know, like when they come out with it, are you guys more forgiving of that, or like what's going through your head about that now?
So you want to go first, Pep, or one
You
let me go? Okay, I go first. So the thing I've been always saying on my stream, and is the only reason I've been playing this game for so long, is you gotta go in and you gotta go in balls deep and take all the shit talk and all the frustration in order to become better. There is no other way to improve. That's basically what Pep and Micky have been saying earlier. And the thing about the quest with the monumental crystal, whatever it's called, it's okay if someone is bad, if at least he's trying and giving it his all, you know? Like, I'm not going to blame someone for being bad just for being bad or inexperienced, because in the end, the game is at a point where the ranking community is codependent of people like that to queue in the first place to get more pops. So shit-talking people out of queue is what this game has been suffering for the last 7 years, and it has ruined the gaming ranking community in general. So I wouldn't mind if someone goes in and tells me the first thing he sees, says, hey, sorry, I'm bad. I'm just here for the crystal. I say, okay, just pop DCDs and move, boy. As long as you keep moving and you pop buttons, I'm happy. I don't mind if you do 100 DPS or you do 6,000. I don't know. So I don't really mind that argument as much as others maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not that bad. As long as it's not somebody who's just going in and like slash stacking and saying, well, I'm just here for the crystal. Right?
Yeah,
As
exactly.
long as it's somebody who's actually playing, it's really not that bad.
Yeah.
That's not an issue.
Okay. Because I feel like it was just like if there's serious people out there, you know, trying to queue because they want to, you know, further move up the ladder, they want to get gold or whatever, they want to be top 3, and just kind of mess with them a little bit there because they're like, oh great, I got this horrible person on my team.
I think people need to realize it's solo ranked, right? The way the matchmaking works in and of itself, the fact that you're queuing up for an 8-person game mode by yourself means that there's just inevitably going to be, even if everyone in queue is good, there's going to be some games that you just can't win.
Exactly.
By whatever. So
yeah,
people just need to realize that there's, in that system, there's some games you just aren't going to win, like, no matter who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And whether that's you lose by comp or you lose because a new player's on your team, it's the same thing. There's just some games you can't win. You just have to deal with that.
In the end, as we thought too, is not really, you couldn't say it's a competitive game, right? I mean, that's the reason, besides it being in a terrible shape, more or less, at the moment, it has no esports scene whatsoever. And the reason for that is that basically you don't really need, I'm going to say it like, to be a pro gamer in this game. I don't know how to say it, or be good at rank, whatever you want to call it. You can just queue, you know. I mean, they even changed the token system so that it doesn't matter in which season you're in, the token is still the same. So you can basically, if you don't really care about the titles and the flares and stuff, you can just farm tokens and then you can buy all the rewards. So, I don't know, in the end, it doesn't really matter at this point in time.
And then I was just going to ask my last question before I pass it on to Nami there. This is something I was thinking about. Do you think I think there's a difference, but I was going to ask you guys, do you think there's a difference between toxicity and truth? Because one of you guys could say like, oh, well, ranked PvP is toxic, but then people might take the wrong way and you're actually speaking the truth. Some players are toxic. There are people that are toxic, but also people that are just very honest.
Okay, so I'm going to put it like this. I'm the toxiest cunt you're going to ever meet. But I think like being toxic is part of playing PvP, you know? It doesn't matter the game and the platform. There is a difference between criticizing someone and just plain insulting him. So if your point is to just make sure the other one is going to feel hurt because you think you're so good whatsoever, then you're just being an asshole. But if you're trying to at least, like, within the boundaries of your shit talk, to put it like that, stay constructive and just say, boy, like, at least don't break before white bar, you know, stuff like that, and the person listens and stuff. I don't think that toxicity in and on itself must necessarily be a bad thing. It's the tone that makes the music, I guess.
Yeah, there's a lot of times where you can criticize someone and they'll take it in a bad way and they'll think it's toxic.
Yeah.
And then they'll just like talk shit to you, even though you're not really talking shit. You're just saying, you know, can you do this? Can you do that?
Yeah, the point Micky's pointing out is really good, because that's basically what Kreia was saying in the podcast, that nowadays everything is toxic. Besides the fact that half the community seems to be special snowflakes somewhere along the line, like taking things way too personal. Like, I wouldn't take anything anyone throws at me in SVTOR personal, because otherwise you can't queue solo rank for more than 4 games. You get the idea? Like, you gotta have some distance to it, otherwise you're not gonna queue for long.
Yeah, the whole like toxicity thing is kind of overblown because it's
Yeah.
like, there's very few people that like there are people, but there's very few people who are actually like toxic in the
like really
sense
toxic.
of what the word actually means, right?
Exactly.
Most of the time, it's like somebody says like, you know, they might not say it in the best way, but basically what they say is, "Hey, your guard swaps or something are kind of slow." And it's like that. It's not really toxic if you say something like that. Like it's kind of, you know, people call it toxic, and people call anybody who says like criticizes their team toxic, but most of the time it's just something that someone actually needs to do better.
Yeah.
Because I know when you came into my stream, Perp, that I told people, I was like, look, I'm new to it. Kogas told me just get my 10 matches, you know, at least get, you know, at least place, whatever. So I was like, okay, cool. I mean, I ended up doing, I think 50 matches, I think, which is the most I've ever done, and I've only done it for 1 season. But I mean, you were giving me some great advice, you know, different utilities. You know, I was like, okay, you know, I'll do this, this, and this, because I never got global so fast in a ranked PvP match ever. I was like 3 seconds, my sword is dead. I'm like, okay, you know what happened? So it's just, I feel like it's on both ends. It's just the person that's saying it and the person that, you know, either receives it like, oh, this person actually tell me that I should, you know, do this, this, and this, rather than just creating that, you know, kind of hostility or that kind of like, you know, you keep it with them or against them, or, you know, it creates that kind of like rivalry, so to speak, you know.
Yeah.
I think though that the community in itself is at the point where like the real good players in and on itself are actually really decent human beings. Like, I don't know if it's just a general trend the past 2 seasons, but the people who are really toxic in the terms like Perp described the word toxic are actually not really good players. So the really good players, I would say, are in general really decent people. So they're gonna shit talk you. Yes, of course they are, but to some degree, like it's not gonna be the same. Most of the time, it's gonna be criticism that has been taken personally, I would say, which then obviously for that person looks like being shit talked way too much. But it's not as bad as it used to be in the past.
By the way, I just want to make a comment that I am not hostile. I'm actually the opposite. They're toxic cheesecake, so calm down over there. Caramel's on your team. Don't worry. You know, I mean, she'll you know shit talk you in private and yell all sorts of you know profanity too. So just watch out for that one. Anyways, Nami, I'm done with my questions. So.
Well, you covered quite a bit.
I'm a journalist. That's what I do.
There you go. Okay, amongst many other hats you wear. Trying to think now. You guys covered quite a bit, actually. Do you have any questions for either one of your co-interviewees here?
Wait, do I have any questions?
Yeah. Do you have any questions for Shek or Purple?
Oh, I don't know. I can't think of anything.
You didn't take that one, right?
See, I couldn't think of a question, so the only thing to do is to push it on you. That's how
I have a
it goes.
question for you, Micky.
Well, this really
There we
is.
go. We got a question for Micky. There we go.
In the beginning, you said you don't get global, but clearly you do. Because
We all do, don't we?
I'm just wondering. So, it's like the only person that doesn't get global here is clearly Shekshas.
No, that's not true. I get global once every stream, so that's a religious part of my stream nowadays. So yeah.
Look, Filter, you're right there with the big boys. You get global too. There you go.
Yeah, I know. 3 seconds. If that's all it takes.
There you go.
That's all it takes. One heart stun, man.
Oh, there's a
feel
good
it.
question for you, Micky. You can ask Shekshas how to play.
Oh,
Exactly.
that's a whole different pod stream. But no, I really don't have a question for you, Micky. It's more of just something I wanted to tell you. I am so happy that you're back streaming, you're back playing games. I really do.
Oh, thank you.
I guess I I don't know if you feel comfortable, but I'm just going to say it. But I do know a little bit about what was going on, and thank you so much for number one trusting me, but number two, I am so glad to see you back on your feet.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah,
I appreciate
yeah, it's I don't think honestly that I would have been able to as well. But no, I am very, very happy to see you back streaming, back drinking with TMG, and kind of just getting whatever you want to do and whatever makes you happy. And that's the thing is, the whole reason why we do these pod streams was we wanted to get to know people, but also kind of bring the community together, and play other games. Right now, you guys know that I play League. I'll come support you guys. See, with my Nami skills. Um, but yeah, I just want to say I am so happy that you're back, and I'll be right there in your streams when I have time to support you as well. Are you going to stream today?
I have no idea, but I appreciate all the support that you've gave us, and yeah, thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure. That's what we do here. But yeah, if one of you guys are thinking about streaming, let me know. Please let me know. Send me a Discord message. I'll be more than happy to host you guys. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Sorry, I don't have questions because, Filter just comes in, boom, bam, with all the good questions.
How tall are you?
Wow.
That's the real question. The important things in life.
The important things you need to know. Also, Micky,
Exactly.
you might want to. I know that you're really busy right now with school and whatnot, but you are going to school with digital art, right? So, is there something that people can get in contact with you if they want some emotes, especially with now us being able to have more than one emote as affiliates? Is that something that you're going to venture down, or?
All right, well, to answer Phil's question, I'm 6 foot, and after that, I do game design, so I do a lot of digital art on the side because I just enjoy doing it. But in probably, I think, May or June, I'll probably have a lot more free time. I'll be able to do like emotes and stuff like that. So to get in contact with me, just message me on Discord if you have me on that, or I'm probably going to get my website back up again, and you can contact me up on there once I get it set back up.
Perfect. Yeah, because I like your new overlays. I liked your last one too. I've seen 3 different overlays, so I really like them all.
Oh,
and
thank
I
you.
love purple, so it's my favorite color. So
Hey, there's a couple questions there. Obviously, Duck's one special question, icebreaker question.
The legend, yeah, the
Uh,
icebreaker one.
Exactly. He said he had 2 questions there for Micky. He said he'll start with the easy one. All right, here. So what class is your favorite? What class is your preference for Apex? He said he personally chose Bangalore.
Bangalore. I love Bangalore. Fun as fuck. What was the other question?
And then the second question is, would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck?
That question is so awesome.
1 horse-sized duck, because I feel like I get overwhelmed by 100 duck-sized horses.
especially for 6 foot. Man, all these guys are really tall. I'm kind of short. I'm like 5'4.5". So they're all tall. But
And
yeah,
then Lil
so,
Bus has a. I was
Okay.
going to say, Lil Bus has a question there for Micky. He said, Nami, ask him to play Shadow. We need a Shadow stream again. Wasn't really a question.
Play Shadow.
It's a comment.
Don't know when the last time I played
What?
Shadow was, but
ask him
Is
to
it
play
Shadow? Isn't it Shadow the opposite class of?
Oh, a shadow instead
No,
of a
don't
Sin.
play Shadow. No, I thought he meant another game. You stay Sin Buddy and then everything's
You
fine.
play some Virulent Sniper. All right.
I already did. I got
on
one.
the Imperial side of the map. That's
Yeah.
the cozy place where the passion and the kinky stuff happens.
Exactly.
Wait, did someone
There
say
we go.
kinky? What?
You
Wait,
heard
is
that right.
I want
Definitely.
to know, does kinky mean the same
It means exactly the same. Yeah.
Okay,
I don't know
awesome.
what
Then
it means for you,
my
but it
ears are
definitely
perked
means
up
the
now.
same.
I've woken up. I have more questions now. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Just kidding.
Bring the tequila, you know?
Bring the tequila, man.
There we go.
Bring it on. Hey, I have a sexy imagination. What can I say? Let's go. Anyways, are there any more questions for Micky? And also, let's get a shout out for not only Micky but also Purple too. I'm gonna do that right this moment. Whoops,
Whoops.
whoops, yeah, whoops. I was typing, but it wasn't in the stream
Well,
chat. So let me do
so
this.
Ducky, all you gotta do is give her some tequila, go back to the place. I
Go
mean,
back to the place. What? What do you think? I'm that easy?
I'm gonna
What
leave
the
you
heck?
alone, guys.
Give me tequila.
Getting
I'm
beaten
easy.
up.
Let's go. I need something more than that. Cheesecake maybe.
mention your male stripper. I don't know. Get some cheesecake. Go back there, you know. Go fall asleep on the waterbed, and nothing will happen.
And nothing will happen. There you go.
I'm definitely in the right place to be right now, so
There
that's
you go.
good.
Yeah,
Sitting
I have
between
some great
Pep and Mikey,
stories.
so I know where this is heading. I got the table in front of me. Ooh,
Yep, and the fuzzy cuffs out. You better.
there we go. Remember, that's something you said.
And they're purple. They're purple. Big
I
surprise.
love purple. Oh shit. The sniper's gonna come in hard.
Sniper position. But anyways, we are gonna go on. If there, wait, if there isn't any other questions for Micky, we'll just go ahead and move on to Shek. Shek got here on time. I am so proud
Yay! I
of
made
you.
it. Thank you.
Even with the total, I was like, okay, the time changed, go forward. Wait, are you guys? I assumed you all three were in the same time zone. I was doing the math, doing where am I at? Because filters clear across the country on East Coast, I'm West Coast. So I was doing all kinds of math. So I'm kind of glad that, yay, Micky was the only one that had to actually pop in an hour earlier because I guess his time is a little different. But anyways, welcome for being here.
Thank you very much. I'm really thankful and grateful for being here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, my pleasure. Like I had told you before, I met you way before I even started streaming. I used to watch your streams, and then I had mentioned to you before that I got to know a little bit more about you from my good friend Cease. And so, of course, that perked my interest even more. So, anyways, I'd like you to introduce yourself to everyone who may not know who you are.
Well, where do I start? Well, I'm a main tank, definitely tank player. That's the one thing I'm actually good at or decent at. And well, I've been playing this game since exactly the expansion Rise of the Hardcutter. And I think that was at the end of 2 point something, starting with 3.0, I think, if I remember the patch numbers correctly. And I've always been a great Star Wars fan. I've been playing WoW before touching SWTOR since forever, my whole life. And then SWTOR came out, and I didn't like catch the hype. Maybe I missed it. I don't know what happened. I found it by through a web ad. I kid you not. Like I was looking for games to play because WoW was getting boring back then, and I wanted to change. And I found SWTOR, and then you could, like, I love the fact that you could use tanks in PvP. That was always some aspect of SWTOR which was really appealing to me because I've always been a support player. And it was nice to be able to do damage while at the same time helping your team out, right? Having some control over the game. But then I realized I was really, really, really bad at this game. And I just couldn't accept that. So yeah, I kept struggling and queuing for thousands of games and hours, and until I became somewhat decent, I guess. Yeah. So yeah, that's how we got here, more or less.
I came from World of Warcraft too.
Oh, well,
games,
awesome.
main
We
ones.
are the veterans, the MMO veterans, right?
Well, that was my first MMO. I started with League of
Same.
Legends, went to World of Warcraft, and then came to this game, and really never
Yeah.
went back. Did you, by chance, ever play BFA?
Oh no, I didn't. God bless, I didn't. Like I had a lot of people were saying it was really good. I'm just following the WoW for the nostalgia. You know, I go
Mm-hmm.
watch on Twitch the World Series and stuff
Mm-hmm.
in the esports scene, but I don't have anything to do with the game after Wrath of the Lich King. That was for me the nerdy end. The end of Arthas was the end of WoW for me.
That
More or
was
less,
actually
yeah.
a very good expansion, though.
Yeah, that was the best.
Yeah. So, okay, so, um, what other games do you like to play besides Star Wars?
None. And I kid you not, I don't play any other game besides Star Wars.
This is why I love him. See,
I'm dedicated until the end. Yeah.
awesome. Now, outside of gaming, is there any other
Yeah.
interests that you have?
I got quite a lot. Holy shit. I don't know where to start. I'm absolutely passionate and addicted about philosophy and science, I guess. And I just spend my time reading books, a lot of books about people that inspire me and great ideas that I find appealing to me and stuff that I would like to be proficient in sometime in my life. Later on, I guess, when I'm a bit older. Yeah, that's it. And well, I do a lot of sports besides that too. Yeah.
That's why you look so fit.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
remember
I'm trying.
I came into your channel and I was like, God, you are just a beautiful human being. You
Oh, thank you very much.
And you
I
were
think those are
like,
quite-
Nami, thank you so
No.
much. Usually for not saying that I look good. And I was like, well, if we want to talk about that, that would be another subject. But
Well, thank you very much. You're making me blush.
so, well, purple made you blush first, so
Yeah,
I
he
don't
always
know how
does. He
special I
always
feel.
does. Pep is proficient at making me blush. That's Pep's magic charm.
Now, like I mentioned earlier, that I saw your streams before I even started streaming. So how long have you been streaming?
So this is a really funny story, and I'm really glad that Junkie's on stream chatting with everyone because he was, I kid you not, like I shit you not, this Junkie was a bit of my inspiration to start streaming because like with every single person I've met in the game, besides 5 or 6 plays maybe, I started off really negatively, like always in a really toxic first encounter, if you want to put it like that. And somehow I got really fortunate to nowadays call the players I respect the most to be mates of mine, and people I just genuinely respect and the way they play and stuff. And I admired Junkie back then because like people were making fun of him for not being good. But then again, he still kept streaming and he still kept queuing. He didn't give a fuck about what people thought about him. And he improved quite a lot. I mean, I've had games the past 2 seasons with Junkie on his jab DPS clicking and he does, I don't know, 7, 8k DPS. So yeah, he was definitely an inspiration to start streaming. And well, basically because I got shit talk even after grinding the top 3 title. So I thought, okay, fuck these cunts, I'm gonna stream now and they can judge for themselves if I'm good or bad. And unfortunately for me, I guess it turned out pretty well.
Yeah, I know I enjoy watching your streams. And not only is it just the playing, it's kind of your vibe, and
Yeah, thank you.
that's kind of what's good as a streamer. I think is it's not just the game; it's just kind of the persona that you have, right? Now, how many hours would you say that you play Star Wars now?
So I got a strange relationship with Star Wars because when I play, I go in balls deep. I play 24 hours. But then I pop my vanish button on my sin and I'm gone for 4 months, more or less. And then I come back and just queue for 2 months almost every day, depending on how much time I got, with university and stuff in real life. But I'm always trying to make some time to to get always back into rank because I just really love the game mode. I just can't stop. I just enjoy it. For me, it's a bit more than just elo and winning and losing. I don't know how to describe it. I like the beauty of it, like the way the game is designed and how ranked is designed is just, it's just beautiful for me. So I really enjoy it and I just can't stop. So yeah, if it in terms of hours, I would say when I play tremendously, like a lot. Like I think my general stream is always over 10 hours or 8 hours or something like that. So yeah.
Now, are there any changes or recommendations you'd like to see in the game then?
Well, I mentioned quite a lot, and I think a lot was said and mentioned on the podcast we did with Snape back then. But then again, I think for me, on a personal level, always or in general tend to play underperforming comps is just even out the meter in terms of class balancing, especially in regards to melees and range. If that could be fixed, hopefully without overpowering or just nerfing another spec to the ground, that would be nice. Like that would be the most welcome change, and definitely the matchmaking. But Perp had a really great point. Season 8 basically was really good because back then, like a lot of players took part in rank. I would see if I managed to get more people interested in rank to get somewhere close to that again, so that the brackets make some sense, and we finally get to have better quality-wise, better solo rank games in general. Yeah.
Now, you mentioned earlier that you had top three. Is there anything that you would like to accomplish this year? Like, for some of the, I mean, I know quite a few top threes, and they're like,
Mhm.
well, you know what? I'm top three now. I don't really even care about
Mhm.
hitting it again because I've already been there, done
Yeah.
that. If I get there, yay. Is that like a goal of yours? Like, oh, well, you know what? I did it. I know I can do it again.
So it's like this is a funny story behind my top three because I never actually went on to try and grind the top three. I just played a lot of games. Season 8 was for me like a special season because it was legit. Like the season before, 2 seasons before, was my 900 Elo season, right? So for me, season 8 was the season I swore to myself, I'm gonna get gold, no matter what. That was my set. And then somehow I managed to have gold really, really fast, like in the first week, I think, or first 10 days after the season started. And then I just kept queuing throughout the season because the community and the players I was facing were among the best players I knew, and the players I watched who helped me improve myself, who I played against for many, many years. And it was just a really nice, rewarding feeling to be able to beat them. So I just kept queuing until the season ended, and somewhat ended up with 3K Elo at the end, which was really nice, I guess. But it wasn't a personal goal of mine to get any top three. I don't. The top three title to me personally doesn't mean as much, maybe as to other players. It was never a goal of mine, and I never even attempted to try it again so far. So I don't know. My goal would be to just have fun when I log in, have good games, and then when I log off, I say, "Wow, this game was madness. Wow, this player pulled off some crazy stun. Or this game was interesting to watch." Improve, just keep improving and play different specs now, which I'm doing and streaming on them, having a lot of fun, Sim DPS and Source DPS. Play PT Tank too, so yeah, I'm enjoying the game for what it is, I guess.
So, what would you say? So, it wasn't a goal, but you got there, right? So, to me, that's a
Yeah.
huge accomplishment. Just like I said
Yeah, thank you.
to Purple. Now, what would you then categorize as your proudest accomplishment in the game?
My proudest accomplishment in the game, this is gonna be funny now because it's kind of a meme. Jet knows what I'm talking about. Basically, on the German server, they call it like I had this meme going on for quite a while where they called me the Lord of Silence, which was really memey because it was uppish as fuck. But that was actually the only accomplishment I really personally wanted, was just to prove everyone wrong that I could be good at the game if I was willing to put in a lot of effort, which in the end did happen. I was able to beat, at least in one game mod or the other, any single player still playing who I respect. So that's I would say, my greatest accomplishment, beating the players I respected. Yeah.
Now it's kind of, well, now it's like we're already past the first quarter, I guess, of the year. But is there anything
Yeah.
that you're wanting to accomplish in the game that you weren't able to last year? Because you were gone for a while. At least
Yeah, I
stream
was
wise, you
definitely
were
gone
gone
for
for a
quite a
while.
while, for almost, because of university and work and stuff, and I moved to my girlfriend and, well, real life stuff, simply as it is. Sometimes you just unfortunately don't have the time to game, right? Because you got other priorities. But I came back, and to my great surprise, which was really unexpected, like I took a break for what, 4 months, 5 months, and I came back and I was around for a couple of weeks before I started streaming again, because I had time now. After my exams, I got free for 2 months, 6 weeks, or something like that. And I thought, okay, come on, Shaq, why not start streaming again? Because you always enjoyed it. It was fun. People were nice. And I started again, and the reaction to it was pretty overwhelming. So I never thought, like, I never expected the reaction people would have to my stream. Like, never, not in that amount, never ever would I have thought that it was that appealing to so many new players and ranked players, and even more experienced ranked players. That was really awesome. So my personal achievement for this year, definitely after the podcast we did with Snaif and Chris, definitely to get events going. So that is definitely my part. I want to bring to the table, do this 8 versus 8 rec event. We even got a date now. I just need to write that forum post, I promise. Sorry to everyone for not doing it. I was working the whole weekend. But yeah, just give something back to the community, and show to players that are PvP players that ranked is actually not as bad as it seems, and that the the greater majority of the players are really decent human beings. I would say ranked at this moment, like I'm gonna sound really cringy now, but I would say like ranked is in this game at least at the point where it's more like a small family. You know what I mean? Like if you play the game long enough, and if you're actually a decent human being, you get to know everybody. And I'm, like I said in the beginning, I'm in a really fortunate position that I'm on mostly good terms with everybody. So that's actually a blessing. So when I log in and I queue solo rank, I can talk to everybody and have fun with everybody, with the exceptions of obviously 2, 3. I don't want to say autistic, but yeah, autistic players. But otherwise, I think the community is really fun. Like when I log in, I enjoy the game quite a lot, and the people playing it. So yeah, I think getting events done, bringing the PvP community a bit together, maybe bring some players to the PvP table, and see how it goes.
Now, have you seen any significant changes though in the community since when you entered it?
Yeah, definitely. Well, what I've seen is a general more positive attitude towards failing. You know, I think that was I think the biggest misconception about solo ranked in general is that good players fall off trees. That they are just simply good, and that when someone is simply good, well, he's good, and you can't beat them. So that's just wrong. And I think since a lot of people are streaming as we talk now, and what I really like is seeing like streamers who are somewhat courageous enough to say, okay, I'm not the best player on the field, but I'm trying my best and I bring this and this to the table, so let's make the most of it. And they stand behind it, and their mistakes, and then they go and ask Wisp and try to work on it. So I think that's admirable. Because I mean, I did start to stream when I was somewhat decent, so that doesn't really count. So I admire all the people who are popping out of nowhere. Like I'm seeing so many streamers, and I'm gonna support all of them. Like at least the ones who are playing ranked and trying to improve, and who are really dedicated. And that's like a general change in the mindset of the PvP ranked community. At least I've seen in general, I would say. People are more willing to accept defeat than they were in the past. And I think that's definitely an improvement.
Yeah, I mean, it's a competitive play when you play ranked. So emotions are going to go, you might be trying to get to, let's just say, gold, and now you just lost a couple matches because someone threw on you or whatever the reason may be. So, I mean, it is frustrating. So there is a lot more emotions going on there versus, let's say, you're out doing dailies on OSIS. So,
I mean that's exactly the point. And I think that's the great that's what gets me addicted to it. It's this adrenaline rush. It's not knowing who you're gonna end up with, who you're gonna face, what the matchmaking. I always joke, like that's a joke that came from stream over time, is with the elo god thing, that we always joke around. Oh, the elo god is gonna fuck us up now. The matchmaking's gonna suck. He's laughing at us. Like some secret puppeteer master sitting in the background laughing at every single ranked player. So that joke is pretty funny, and I think that's a pretty nice. Like the adrenaline rush is what makes solo ranked worth playing in the end, right?
oh yeah,
So
for sure, I like it.
even yeah, so even if like I love the fact it gets emotional. That's like why I play Imperials and I could never play a Puff. So I mean that's like the emotion keeps you going somewhat. And when you get close games with other players, like that you start having a connection with someone else, like of the same ladder or skill ladder or whatever. And I think that's how you create somewhat bonds, if that makes sense. I don't want to get too deep into this either, but I guess you feel me. Like everyone has been playing ranked at some point and knows that it's hardships and it can be really rewarding too. Like I don't think it's about the elo or the point that you got in the right corner of your screen at the end of the season. I think it's those moments, those gem moments that you had a nice play or that you turned the game, believing that you would fully lose. Things like that make the game still interesting to play, I guess.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with that. Now, I mean, it is a team, right? You get on a team, whether it's a pre made team or not, right?
Hmm.
Do you have the feeling? Because I can tell you, I went into a match and actually it was Hypnova. Hypnova was in
Yeah.
my match. I did not know it was Hypnova. I was on, I think, Satil Sean. And everybody from my streams knew I really wanted the decos. I waited until pretty much preseason. Well, I tried to get it before preseason. And then I continued through preseason to get my tokens so that I could get my deco. But I ran into a match with Hypnova. In the first round, we lost. And one of the guys says, you know what? Just stuck it. Let's stuck second round because we're just not, you know, this is going to be a loss, right? So
So this, yeah, keep
Hypnova.
going. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt you. Finish. Sorry.
Oh, okay. No, so Hypnova, who again I did not know it was Hypnova, and I'm sorry if I'm calling you out too, by the way, but this was really, really nice, and I feel like if somebody does something nice, that you need to let people know about it. So here we go, second round. Here's this person saying stuck, right? And Hypnova's like, no, dude, we got this. Just stick with the plan. You need a, whatever, right? And then said, well, Nami, you do want your deco, right? Because Nami wants her deco or something along those lines. And then I knew, okay,
He
this
knew
is
how to bait you.
it either is someone who
Yeah.
has seen my stream and knows that I'm only in queue because I want to get my deco because I had gotten it in season 9. And so we ended up winning second round as well as third round. And I was
Awesome.
so thankful. I was like, oh my God. Think I whispered him. It was too funny. He told me, he actually deceived me as to who he was until later on. And then he told me who he was. And I was like so very thankful for that. I was like, if this was anybody else, they would have given up. And I guess what my question is to you ranked players when you get into solo queue, just because you see someone like you're like, oh my God, there's that Nami in there. This is going to be a complete loss. Do you take the attitude that, oh, this is a complete loss, or do you, because you guys are higher tiered, let's say, ranked players, do you take it like, look, this is what we should do because obviously there's always a plan, right? Do you stick with that and try to work together with the, I guess, oh, do you look at the team after losing the first round and look what can be improved so that you can win the second round, or do you just say, okay, forget it, I give up? Like,
So the answer to the question is really answered. It depends on how the player in question he behaved. Like it doesn't, like I said, the skill in itself doesn't really matter. Like if you in the beginning of the game you already know, okay, you got someone, it's gonna be difficult, it's gonna be hard. That can be exciting, that can be a thrill, especially when you play against someone who's good. I mean, I'm a masochist, so I always enjoy situations like that. And as long as my team member, I see him trying, I see him, he's pushing buttons, he's trying to improve, he's just trying to get the win, then it's definitely worth trying to play the other 2 rounds, obviously. The infuriating thing, I would say, a disappointing thing, is when you see someone get global and that person then goes on saying, well, I'm just gonna start. I'm just here for the mats. I don't even care. I don't even try. That's when I understand when other people just start the game or leave the round. And that's, in my opinion, that's fair. I always tend to say I'm not good. I'm only as good as the team I get put with. Like if my team tries, then we can win every single game. If my team is not gonna try, then the game is instantly lost. So it depends on it's a mental thing, I guess, more than it's a equip thing or class balance thing. It really comes down to how your mentality is the player guy.
well, I got to tell you here, that could have been an easy loss. I mean, especially when one of the individuals said, "Oh, well, this, let's just stuck it." And here we had someone, and I'm hoping that Hypnova would have done that regardless if I was in the match or not. Was like, "No, we got this. Let's stick on this person." Did the plans, and it worked. It worked. We
Yeah.
ended up coming back winning second and third round. And I was so happy about it. It wasn't just the win that I was happy about. It was
Yeah,
it made me happy that there was someone there willing to go and do what it took to try to win. Because that's what you
exactly.
want to do. You go into any type of match, especially a competitive match, and everybody wants to win. That's what everybody wants to do. Except for, I guess there are some individuals that are just going in there to whatever throw or whatever. But that's a very small portion of the community, in my opinion.
Yeah,
But it was just wonderful and refreshing to see someone there willing to fight for the team to say, let's do this. And I guess it didn't help that, they were wanting to help me, get my deco, right? By me getting the win so that I'd get my. But
yeah,
let's be real, I'm going to get my components or the little things no matter what, right? Whether
yeah.
it's just gonna
Take
have me
longer, I
queue
guess.
longer, right? But I gotta admit, I have to
Yeah,
say, uh, this season versus season 9, I got to actually uh, be more part of the ranked community, and everybody was really nice to me. Now it could be that it was because it was preseason, so nobody really cared. But
yeah,
regardless, it it made me say, "Ooh, I kind of want to queue." But then, for some of us that are migrating over or just went there for the deco, let's say, it is kind of a scary little like bridge to cross, right? Because now we're going up there and going to be with the top tier guys. And I'm just curious, do you guys look at it like, okay, we got this. I'm going to be the hard carry. I'm going to carry this game. Let's go. Um, Yeah,
Well,
I
I,
just wonder
I
what
don't know.
goes through some of you guys' minds when you get someone like, example,
I don't
me
think that
coming
any good player believes that. I
in.
think that most players are not that arrogant and cocky to say, okay, I got someone who's basically either naked or farming his crystal, and we gotta like carry the game. I don't think anyone is gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna carry the game for my team. I don't think anyone would be at this point in time that arrogant. You know what I mean? But I
Yeah,
believe the mindset Hypnova had in what like general like ranked in general should be. It's not don't give up. Like try your best no matter the outcome, especially if it's not in your favor. Because like the reward of winning then is much greater. The satisfaction, the thrill you're gonna end up with is so worth it. It's
yeah,
worth more than the decal you get, or the tokens you get, or the elo you get.
yeah. It's
So
the
yeah,
fight itself. It's the adrenaline.
it's the fight. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the fight. It's the moment. It's the thrill of the hunt, to call it like that. Yeah, the
Yes,
thrill of the hunt. Yeah.
absolutely.
That's what
Absolutely.
keeps, at least me personally, going. I don't know. Everyone has definitely another can see it differently too, I guess. But that's what keeps me going. It's the thrill of the hunt, to put it like that.
Yeah. That's how I feel too. I'm just not very good
Yeah.
at it. But you guys did touch on it earlier where you said, look, if you're going to get, and I do agree with this, if you're going to get into competitive play, at least know your class, know some of your abilities and get in there, and you're going to make mistakes. But like you said, you get to that one day where you're going to be like, yes, I beat them, and that
Exactly.
is an amazing feeling, I got to admit. Now,
You are touching a really good point, because like that's the reason I'm trying to pull off the thing with the YouTube channel, is because I think the most fundamental issue the ranked, especially solo ranked, besides all the matchmaking and all the meta issues and everything, is that the gap between decent to top players and beginners to, let's say, closer to decent or decent, somewhat decent in terms of skill is way too big. But the issue for that is, as you pointed out earlier, that there is a tremendous lack of guides and videos and explanations of mechanics and basic stuff. Like a lot of games are decided, unfortunately, by a complete loss of basic PvP aspects of the games and mechanics, which people like either didn't care, I don't know, or didn't really want to understand, or just didn't grasp the concept of it. And unfortunately, a lot of games are decided by that, which makes the games so much less entertaining in the long run. Because I believe even if you're a beginner, if you get some basic things, you understand some basic fundamental mechanics, no matter your skill level and no matter the spec or class you play, if you get those right, the games are gonna improve in quality tremendously.
oh yeah, I agree, 100%. If there's some videos as well as some guides too as well, but actually even videos that go alongside it, I think it's much easier for someone to watch. Oh, okay, so my rotation would be this, for example. Let me try this rotation, and then you can always alter it. I do believe that. Yes, I think when it comes to actual like mechanics and that sort of stuff, I mean, you have to first know what are your abilities too. And I think, for myself, I get in, I play, I want to play for fun because I love the game. But it is true that if I want to let's say, go to the next tier, it is upon myself, right, the player, to want to get there and to get as much information so that I'm able to get there. It's still going to be horrendous probably at first, but at one point, that's how you're going to get better, is playing with the big boys, right? You want
Yeah,
to go against people that are better than you. You don't want to go against people that you can just one shot, right? You want to get better, and by doing that is like putting a lot of work and effort into it. And that's what you had touched on earlier. Now, in this community, and obviously we're talking Star Wars, this is your only game.
yeah.
Who have you been inspired by? Because we've heard that a lot of people have been inspired by you. Who have you
Which
been
I'm
inspired?
really thankful for, because I didn't know that actually, that I was able to inspire anyone whatsoever. Because I always call myself the 900, the king of Elo Hell. That's my nickname, more or less. The 900 eternal 900 Elo trash tank. So that's a name I really embrace. I really love, because I love the number. I'm strange, don't mind that. The people I've inspired by, I can name them exactly, because they've been a great inspiration. They've been tremendous help over the years. They have supported. They were the first players to see something in me I didn't see at the time. They took me with them in team rank. They basically carried me, and I learned tremendously from them. And those players were Molra, Rowdy back then, Asana, Alim, Night Rain definitely, and two German players who are not playing anymore but are probably coming back. I don't know how many of you know them. Bilzebub might ring a bell for someone. And Death Note was a PT tank. And well, Beroya, a lot of people know Beroya on the Red Eclipse. Back in the day, he came to the Red Eclipse with me. And those are really like the people and the players that inspire me to this day. Most of them still play, God bless. So yeah, I got really lucky. Like, those were also the players who never shit talked me. So that was for, because I'm really bad with irony and sarcasm, right? So I didn't know if those good players were being nice to me for the sake of just being decent human beings and being nice to me. So that was really funny in the beginning. I remember like these first talks with Alim and Hassan on TS. That was when I was back then really smoking way too much. Good times, yeah. Yeah. If I'm the player I am today, it's thanks to all these other players, definitely. I'm the result of that, I guess. Yeah. Nami, you there? Nami? Hello?
Oh, she don't actually talk?
Oh, I'm so
What?
sorry. Oh,
Yeah, no
sorry.
problem. I thought I overwhelmed you with what I said.
She's like talking to herself the whole time.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
Probably getting out them
sorry.
purple handcuffs right now, fuzzy cuffs right now.
Okay, whatever. But no, okay, I am so sorry. Anyways, I'll repeat what I had said. I had said, is there anyone you know you've inspired? And we already know from the beginning of this interview, this pod stream, that Purple said you've inspired him and Micky as well, as well
Yeah,
as a
which
lot
is
of other people. But is there anybody that you know you helped along the way that have come up and said,
I
oh my God, thank you, man?
like I've got like a strange experience lately, especially with like, okay, Mickey and Pub mean a lot to me, and so it's really nice of the two of them to say that. Those words mean a lot to me, obviously. But then again, I had like recently, especially a lot of players who just started with PvP, and I had that Sin, but I don't remember his name because, like, really sorry, I'm really bad with names. And the Sin came to me, and he just started queuing last season, and I think that was one of my greatest achievements from a streamer point of view more than a player. He was like, Shek, your tips as a Sin tank helped me to get from bronze to silver. And he was so thankful when he saw me after 6 months. He was like, I wanted to tell you for months. I got silver thanks to your tips. Thank you so much. And that really felt amazing, I have to admit. Like, that was really one personal achievement I would say I'm really proud of. That person was genuinely like really thankful. And I saw him, he was really enjoying the game mode, you know. He was really having fun playing a spec that is rather difficult actually in terms of skill ceiling and stuff. And he was doing great, and he was doing better, and that meant a lot to me. Yeah.
Okay, now you spoke earlier about this, and you're talking about guides and whatnot. Is there anything you feel you could do to make this community an even better one than it currently is?
Well, I think the one thing I'm really, really trying hard is to have a slight change maybe in mentality, like just have fun, like log in. The end of the game is just a game. Solo rank is just a game mode. Even with all the cheating in the past, all the drama, all the issues the game has, the game is still fun. Like queue and try to make the best out of it. And maybe something for myself too is just like don't blame yourself and don't blame others for something that is out of your match. Like just try to focus on what you can do with your class and stuff and do the best out of that, and period, no matter the outcome. Everything after that is decided by the elo god, put it like that, more or less. Just like because I know myself, I get really things and I embrace the shit talk. I'm someone who really likes to get shit talk. I grew up with that throughout my whole history in the game. Has been a whole pile of shit talk, if you want. But I enjoyed it. Like it's not something I look back at with resentment, I would say. So for the future, I would just like to see solo rank be somewhat more elegant. That would be like my biggest wish for the solo rank community. To have a better matchmaking, better meter in terms of class balance, and just people enjoying the game.
Yeah, and I think that, I mean, in talking with, a lot of ranked players and talking with them as far as the matchmaking when they go to queue, like they have a high elo. Let's say there's two high elo queuing, and then there's not enough players in the field, right? So then they're pulling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, who's the bottom two, like with the lowest, and they pair them. They split them up. So it's kind of like a toss up. Who gets, let's just say, the worst healer, for example, right?
Yeah.
It really is a toss up there. The match isn't really, I guess, from what I hear, is not really balanced. So you're not
Yeah.
playing like this team versus that team on the same elo level. Now,
Yeah.
um, are there any other projects or events you'd like to either host or be part of in the future?
Well, definitely. Like, I decided that my time for what time I have left in the game is definitely gonna be full in trying to just have fun with all the mates I've gathered along the way, I guess, and just try to organize events like this rec event to celebrate the fact that I broke 1,000 followers, which was a really big deal for me. And just keep those kickballs coming. Have now that we make the most out of these new game modes. There's 4 versus 4 instant pop without people having to lose any elo. Just have fun, having a nice elo. Bring as many players as you can to the table. Have a drink or two. Just have fun. Enjoy the game for what it is, I guess. And yeah, make the most out of it. That would be my goal for 2K19, definitely.
Yeah, I'd love to see more people get into the rank community just because I know a lot of the rank players and it's just not fun for them.
Yeah,
Anymore.
exactly.
And this is why I think that being positive and trying not to be so toxic, and I'm not saying that the ranked environment is the bulk of the toxicity within any game, right? I just think that emotions run a little bit higher because the adrenaline's running higher. I know
Yeah,
myself
yeah.
from being a ranked player in League of Legends. So that
Mm-hmm.
adrenaline is a great rush. I mean, a lot of people just thrive on that. But I would like to see that it was a little more inviting for people that are coming from uh, the war zones, because I can tell you, and I've only been playing PvP since June. I got to tell you, I really do not really enjoy queuing up for war zones anymore, and that's
Yeah.
because there I was getting my deco the last 2 seasons, and I'm definitely not a ranked player, but that adrenaline rush, that's what I like. But I'm just not
All
at
right.
that comfortability to say, okay, yeah, that's it. I'm going full on ranked. Now, someone had mentioned earlier in the stream that what about a community kickball type of event? Is that something, and that's kind of to all three of you guys, would that be something that you guys could see would be something where you have, let's say, two teams, right? And you split them up, right? Kind of almost like how the Q ranked system is now on the matchmaking, and you just go out there and practice. Is there?
That's basically what I've been doing a year ago from here now, almost a year ago, where we had before the patch with the new arena options to queue without being forced to queue rank. And we did that back then, and we split up. Like, we had a lot of really good players and who were willing to end up with people who were less unexperienced to have more even out games, And that event was actually really well received. We had a lot of fun that evening, and a lot of even good players enjoyed them, even playing with players who were less experienced. So that was fun. I can see doing that more in the future, definitely.
Pre-season's always good for that as well.
Yeah.
Because nobody really gives a fuck, so you just go in a pre-season, have a good time and just play ranked.
Well,
Exactly.
I'm gonna go ahead and put my name in the hat. Pick me, pick me. I don't care if I'm the last one to get picked. You guys can draw straws. Who has to carry my butt? But pick me, pick me. I can come on a DPS. I'm not coming on a healer because
You
too
can
much
play
pressure.
whatever you want. That's okay. You can play whatever you want.
Too much pressure. I used to main. Well, I did DPS, but I mained support on in ranked on League of Legends, and I want to go out there and kill something. So yeah,
Awesome.
just
That's
don't
the
look at my
spirit.
numbers. Don't look at my numbers.
In
Just have
theory,
fun.
right there. That's the right spirit.
But so I would love to I would like to see that something like this, like an event, gets brought together. And as you know, Filter and I both are very active in the community as a whole, not just ranked, but across the board. And so if there's anything that you guys need with regard to your events, Mickey, yours, with regard to your fundraiser, and as well as any I want to say event that you guys are going, definitely let both of us know about it, and we'll be there to support.
Well, I will let you know then. Then I'm gonna promote that event 20th, the 8 versus 8 kickball rec, whatever you want to call it.
Get
tournament,
wrecked.
whatever.
I love it. Get wrecked.
Get wrecked, yeah. Basically, and that's Saturday the 20th. And everyone can take part in it. I'm gonna post it tomorrow, and everyone who's willing to have fun. The teams are gonna be mixed. I don't know if mixed or set teams. Maybe do different brackets for set teams and people who just want to have fun. For mixed teams, we will see the format of it. But yeah, I mean, join us. Make all the PvE players join too if they want. Why not make a big Darth Malgus? Make Darth Malgus proud. Big server community event, I guess.
And I have teams over there, 258 geared, so I'm ready to go.
Awesome.
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 Okay, just because I said 258 doesn't mean that I play like I have 258. Okay?
Oh, yeah,
it's just a number. It's just a number.
You can just stand around wave of 14 other players who are killing each other. That's fun.
So,
as long as you enjoy it, it's fun.
I'm going to hand you over to Filter. I know it's been a long pod stream already, but I mean, you had some wonderful.
Oh my gosh, I get to talk now.
Now, Filter, who's standing up there with his nihilist mask. Hey, I had questions. Ask the hard hitting questions again. How tall is he? Don't forget that question.
What question? The 100-size duck one?
No. How tall he is.
How tall are you?
How tall I am? I don't know how much in inches or whatever unit is, but in centimeters.
Feet and inches.
I don't know how much it is in feet and inches, but in centimeters or meters. I don't know. It's 182, 181 in centimeters. I don't know. It's at 6 point something. I don't know, 6.1 maybe.
Damn, everybody's so tall. Dang.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I think so. Yeah, if that's
like
correct.
Looks like you're 5'9" or 5'10".
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know how much that is translated to. Could Google it, I guess. I don't know. Let me check.
No. No. It's okay.
No,
I
it's
got you,
okay.
man. I
Okay.
got you. What is it?
Okay.
182 centimeters?
Yeah, 181, 182, something along the line.
We'll go with 182. Just like I'm almost 5'5".
Okay.
And I just want to make sure. So you said you had a girlfriend, right?
I had a girlfriend, yeah, past form, definitely, yeah.
Past one, okay.
Oh.
I'm
I don't know. I mean,
so...
the way that Nami sat next to you and
Yeah, it was
stayed
always,
closer to you.
yeah, keep it coming, mate. Like,
I mean,
it's
last time we had Darth Scorpio in there. She was like, "Oh, I love the Australian accent." Then you come on the show and she gets closer to you and she's like, "You know what? I love the Shek accent now." It's like,
I'm between Mickey and him, okay? I'm between Mickey and him. Actually, oh my god.
Nami, you gotta take me out to dinner first, though, before anything else. Like,
Wait a minute. No.
I'm a princess,
You
Nami.
have
Like,
to
you gotta
take
treat.
me out to dinner. Wait.
We are 2K19. Same rules apply. You gotta take me out first.
Okay,
And
how
then
about
you
this?
can,
You buy me
yeah.
dinner, I'll buy you dessert.
Okay, that sounds like a deal.
Do you like
That sounds
cheesecake?
like...
No, I'm
I
just kidding.
love cheesecake. I love cheesecake.
Oh my god, there you go. Match made in
Go.
heaven. No.
Yeah,
Anyways,
see,
Filter, get to
we
the
need
real
Tinder
questions.
anyway, I know, right?
that's the hard questions. I was just curious. I thought I was on the. I didn't think this was a pod stream anymore. I thought this was a love connection. By the way,
Yeah. Who needs
I was like,
Tinder?
man, she's asking about.
This
And
is
then Shek
the
just had
best.
to mention, you had a girlfriend, and that perked her ears and everything. And
Wow.
Oh, man. Awesome. You got another question coming? Now we figured my height now. We figured my relationship status. Like, man. It's coming in smoothly.
yeah, the last person that this happened to was actually Jay Muscleman.
Awesome.
Wait, not because of me. Not because of me.
Yeah, okay.
No,
Papa
not
Fred,
because of
then.
me.
I mean, okay.
I will say this. I mean, like so Nimi was actually the person that told me. She was like, "Oh yeah, go check out Shek's stream." And she said you were very, positive influence. You rarely get mad and whatnot there. And so I checked out your stream, and I was like, man, this guy's like really positive. Even if he loses, he's just a really positive guy. You don't find many streamers that actually have a positive outlook even when they lose. So that's one
Thank
comment
you,
I
man.
wanted to
Means a
say.
lot. Yeah, thank you very much. Means a lot, man. Sometimes it's hard. It's hard sometimes. The Elo God is trying, but he's not succeeding. I'm winning the fight so far. So we will see for how long, I guess.
So how often, I just want to say this, how often do you do like regs? Because I just want to make sure if I ever join regs, I don't want to come in, same time you are. So
Well, I would
actually do, like,
appreciate
regs?
it. I don't ever. Like, I've viewed it now once or twice in the last stream because of the sake of hosting that event, for the 8 versus 8. But my entire time in this game, whole game has been spent in arenas. I live in solo rank. Like, that's my living room. Orbital Station is my living room. The Rishi Arena is my bathroom. And, Corellia is basically my kitchen. So there we are. I don't do much ranks.
Do you actually like that Reese Arena? Let's be honest. Like,
No, I absolutely nightmare inducing. My favorite arena is definitely Corellia because I had my most memorable wins ever against the players I enjoy playing the most against on Corellia. And I guess Orbital Station because of the tricks back then with the face walk, which as a synth tank was just really nice. You could troll people for days. That was super nice. Yeah.
And you mainly play on all three: Satil Shan, Starforge, and Darth Maul, right?
Yeah, I play on all servers. Yeah, but mainly Darth Malgus. But yeah, I play on Satil Shan too quite a lot this season, and Starforge too. Yeah.
And what would you say your main? Because I know you're on a lightning, or well, not lightning, but just a Sork in general right now. I know you got gold on your assassin or shadow, but which would you say is your main, your best character? Watch out, people! Here I come.
Definitely the darkness and the tank spec of is the one spec I would say I'm pretty confident in. And going in decreasing order, I would say the second to that would be me playing PT tank, but it's the tank spec. And if DPS anything, I would say I'm doing fairly decent right now on hatred. And well, yeah, that's about it. And then corruption, I guess, and then everything. Twitch is not mentionable at the moment in terms of skill.
Now, did you learn anything? Because Kriya, however you say his name is, I know he's posted a lot of PvP, darkness, hatred, deception guides. Have you learned like a lot from him to be like a better assassin, knowing you have kind of like, I wouldn't say like a PvP assassin god, but that's all he ever plays, ranked, whatever, when he streams and all that, or when he did stream.
Yeah, I read like Kriya helped me quite out a lot. I read a lot of his guides back in the day, especially the one about hatred. So yeah, he did indeed. Like I enjoy watching Kriya quite a lot, and I really enjoy him as a person too. He's a really laid down guy, and he's really intelligent. Like I love his rational approach to things, and how he's able to stay really cool when talking about all the subjects. So I really do respect him quite a lot as a player.
All right. I think that's some of the questions I had. Mine were just focused on the love connection between. I thought I was on a pod stream.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, Filterino. Okay, whatever.
I know when you guys are like filter. So what was that about? Be honest with.
Oh my.
What was what about? Because I didn't got you acoustically there. I didn't.
Oh, just how you two just were so back and forth, so pleasant,
Yeah, I'm a charming fella, man. I can be really convincing.
He's a smooth bastard.
Yeah,
hey, I'm positive too. Hey, I'm very positive. Oh my god.
I was so captivated by your answers there, and then just Nami getting closer to you. I was just like, man.
Don't be jealous.
I don't know. I think there is a misconception. I wouldn't say like people are pretty chill and stuff, but I think that's a misconception. I'm just a big masochist. So when I suffer a lot while playing solo, it actually makes me happy. So I guess that's a really nice way to stay chill throughout that madness you would call solo ranked at the moment. Is enjoying the hardships of it. Otherwise, well, yeah, you can't queue for as long as I do.
So I do have one more question. So you say you're a masochist. So are you opposed?
Go on, Micky. Yeah.
Are you opposed to purple fuzzy handcuffs? I need to know that burning.
Am I opposed to purple? Anything with purple make me being opposed to it. So whatever it is, keep it coming. I'm ready. I'm gonna take purple in this wholesomeness.
Yeah, there you go. I
responded
there you
already.
go. There you have it. No, anyways, I mean, you wanted it. What did you say, Kiki or whatever? So there you go. Had to throw in that last Kiki question for you. And that was because you got here on time. So I wanted to throw that out there. But yes,
awesome.
I enjoy watching all three of you guys. I got to tell you, I love watching ranked players when they're streaming. So I hope that all three of you, and Purple, who is in the EU currently, I hope that you're able to stream as well some more. But yeah, I really enjoy it. I hope that the community, the ranked community as a whole, can get together and hopefully grow, and that you'll start to see new players like Filter come into the rank scene.
Awesome.
I really do. I think that's the only way that if you want to build up a community, I think you start with on a positive one and helping direct people to, I guess, the water, right? And hopefully they drink it and they, whether it be a guide or whatever it is, to become better. And I love all three of your accents. Well, Purple, you don't have one, but I like your voice. So
yeah.
You've got that going for you.
Thank you.
And you are in EU. But yes, of course, anybody in NA loves accents. I don't know. It just sounds great.
Okay, awesome. Well, perfect. Gotta keep it then.
There you go. Gotta keep it. Don't lose it. So is there any questions that we have in chat for any of these guys? Please go ahead and type it in. Well, I know Duckies. What was Duckies? Can you tell him? Can you give his standing stat question?
Find it first. I don't have this on save. Oh, well, Ducky did have a question, but it wasn't his icebreaker question. He said for second question is for all three guests, what achievement are you most... Oh, he said, okay. What achievement are you proud of most if all in game, but never have an excuse to talk about?
So I don't understand the question. So again, where was it? I didn't quite get it. What achievements are you proud of most of all in game, but never have an excuse to talk about?
Maybe just not like a proud, I don't know, like proud of them, I believe? Or just not, you don't have much time to talk about them in general, or...
Well, my achievements are all related to, and since my stream is a ranked PvP based only, I guess I get to talk about them quite a lot. So I don't know.
Yeah, you didn't have to elaborate, Ducky, on what you mean by that question. That way they understand it there, because I'm trying to say it myself there, or process it myself there.
Yeah, me neither. Like I got conveyed to.
I don't even have achievements, except for like meeting Shekshas, which is
Yeah.
basically it's the same
The
thing
best
as like
one.
meeting Zeus right in real life. Like, that's
There you go. Life is over.
said-
There's nothing else to accomplish. You've already hit your goal.
He said, so like, what achievement are you proud of most of all in game, but rarely bring it up in discussion, or you see it as meh, average, in comparison to others?
Oh well, I wouldn't like the achievement I mentioned basically earlier, but I wanted to and to others, but basically that one because I don't get to talk about it because it's a consequence of my story within the game. Is the fact that I got to beat the players I always respected. I think that's my greatest achievement. But yeah, it's not something you would bring up. Like if I got the question right, I think I did to some extent. Even though I wouldn't call it average because it's for me personally, it's my biggest achievement.
Well, I guess you don't respect me because I never faced you in ranked PvP. Every time I see
I
you,
respect
running from
anyone. I respect anyone who has the to face fan and fight fan squad and give it his best. The only attitude I really respect, no matter the
He probably
Everything
did
else.
face you, Shaq, but see, he was too busy hitting exit area, exit war zone.
What is this phase? Why is it not working? Why isn't it taking me out of the queue, man? Phase walk, man, let's go.
Yeah, I know, right?
Leave queue. Why is that is that stuck? So I guess we're going to have to ask, what was the duck? Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
Ha! Because I'm a masochist, I'm gonna go.
The 100.
There you
We go, boys.
There you go.
100 tiny horses for me, man.
This is why he's your ranked leader. He's ready, like, bring it on. Bring it on.
Bring it on. That's exactly, it reflects my spirit. So it's gonna be the 100 little horses.
Oh my gosh. That's kind of cute, though. Gotta admit. Little ponies all running at you. Oh, no, wait.
I don't know if that's cute.
That's not too cute. Wait, never mind.
Oh, too cute, yeah.
I had a vision of My Little Pony. I don't think that's really what I should be thinking about. But, yeah. Anyways, I do want to thank, if there isn't any other questions, I do want to thank all three of you guys for coming on here.
Thank you very much because I need to go, unfortunately, so I'm glad it's about to end. I didn't want to miss anything.
Yes, it was yeah, perfect timing too as well. So yes, I do want to thank you all for being here again. And also I will let you guys all know that next week's guest, this will be a big shocker for pretty much everybody in my stream as well as here, we will be interviewing Snave. So that will be next
Awesome.
Sunday. And then
Oh,
the
nice.
following pod stream, we are going to actually be not having one because of Star Wars Celebration. So I know that I'll be in touch with, I think, Kogas about like doing some live streaming from there. So, but anyways, next week will be Snape. So hope to see you guys next week.
Oh, definitely. Thank you for having me, at least. I don't know how the others see it, but thank you for having me, especially
Yeah, it was
with
fun.
Mikey. That with the both of them with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. Cheers for having us.
Cheers.
Yeah.
I love it. Cheers.
Thanks you very much, and well, see you. Thanks again, I guess.
Yes, you're welcome. I will catch you on your
and-
next stream.
Yeah, awesome. So bye, guys, and enjoy your what's left of your Sunday or Monday, whatever. See ya.
Okay, bye, Shaq.
Goodbye, Shake.
See you later, Shek.
Bye, guys.